Hello, everyone. Welcome to What If Deku saved the League of Villains. I said I was going to more lines fall back on the What If. I said I was going to combine it with another What If that I had in mind, and well, here it is. Welcome to Brando Deku. Now, I'm not going to give this a certain origin, more lines. I'm not really going to be able to explain anything, but in more lines explain itself. We go to Midoriya waking up. Where am I? Why is everything so bright?
Oh. I see. I haven't seen someone with your willpower in a long time, young one. Well, this will be fantastic.
Who are you? Where am I?
Well, you're dead, of course. And for who I am Dio Brendo.
Of course. I don't know where I am either. More lines. Something weird. I'm kind of stuck here, honestly. I don't know how I can get out of it.
But it's just here. So, you wish to have power, yes? Well. What if I told you I can grant you that power?
What do you mean?
I can give you something stronger than what these people call quirks. In this world, there are more than just these quirks around.
Of course, how to get this power is more lines extremely rare nowadays, since half of the arrows I sent out were destroyed, but the other half are more lines in a chest I hid somewhere. I've been dead, and more lines I've been wondering, pondering my memories and thoughts on how I could have defeated JoJo if it wasn't for my cockiness. But what does that mean?
Oh! Young mortal, don't worry. Just ask me this question. Or ask me these questions. Do you want power? And if so, would you want revenge on those who belittled you? A power unlike a quirk, something completely different from a quirk. Something much more powerful. It can be described beyond any human imagination. Of course, though, I always have this thing with me when I died. As you would see a very weird arrow. An arrow with a beetle and some sort of stone on it. This is one of a kind, if not two of a kind. It is called a Requiem stand arrow. Before I died, I was going to use it on myself, but since I already had a stand, it didn't work on me. But you, though, you're unique. You have a will of a Joestar. Which is surprising, knowing that their bloodline is, if not, diminished for the most part. Who knows how long time is different from this world. or whatever we're at. I'm just glad I'm not in the pit of hell, surprisingly. But I guess being in a void is better than that. Well, do you accept this offer, boy? I mean, I always wanted to be a hero. Nonsense, boy. You can be more than a hero with this power. You can rule the world. If not, you can destroy any hero or villain as you see fit. You can do so much more than be a hero. Of course, though. It's only an offer. And from what I gain from it is being here instead of hell. Simple as that. And from what you gain is much, much more than I. So now, is that a deal? As something within Deku's soul yelled out, I want power. I want to help others no matter what. But the darker side wanted the power. Power to do anything he can at what he pleased to be. And so, with no regrets, a hand that wasn't a Midoriya's grabbed the arrow without any hesitation and stabbed it right into his heart. I see. So you chosen yes then. Congrats. You are now one of the last stand users on this world. And for where I hid the other stand arrows. As Midoriya would wake up. He would wake up in a hospital. Where am I? As he would notice that this would be weird. As if this was familiar. It wasn't a hospital from what his thought. It looked like a hospital at first glance, but when at second glance, he only saw it was the lights. A bright light hit him. And he would clearly see an alleyway. As he would spit something up. I don't know where I am. Maybe I can go back to my mother. That was a weird day. If you're wondering, yes, this is the encounter with Midoriya did already happen. Or more lines, happened before he went to school instead of after. As he would remember the words. Don't be ridiculous, boy. You can never become a hero. Only quirk people can become heroes. And so, it begins. Midoriya would feel no difference in his body. But you would feel within deep inside of his heart that his potential was increased dramatically. He felt that the confidence boost he gained was enormous. And even gave him a slight cockiness to his abilities. As he would see something within memories, a glance as it was flashed, he would see a chest filled with multiple items, a mask, stand arrows, these golden-like arrows, Dio, or whatever that person was called. These things called stand arrows. Golden arrows that are shiner, brighter than any gold you can ever see. And even rubies brighter than the eye. Brighter than the sun themselves. As then he would see another glance. But this one wouldn't be of a memory of him. It'd be a memory of a present or a future. He would see multiple people. Almost in a medieval-like term. Looking like they are being executed. Ropes around their necks, ropes around basically everywhere. Feet, arms, neck. One was about to be decapitated by a guillotine, the others either hanged, choked, or other ways of torture to death. As he would hear screams that are not what they seem. Yes, he saw the cries and sadness of these teens, but what was crying wasn't them. It was what was inside them. As he looked deeper and saw the true selves, they saw children betrayed, sadness crying out to help. But since the community created these monsters, they're unable to see the true selves of the monsters they created. These weren't monsters, they were children in disguise, forced to evolve just to be able to fit in. And even so, they were being executed as we speak. This was, if not, a couple weeks to 2 weeks to a week max. He saw. He was disgusted. He saw heroes batting an eye at this unforsaken act. This wasn't heroic. These were just monsters that created their own monsters. People who are the society who created these monsters just beating a foul eye. Wanting to end their own problems just with more violence, even though the violence they had created their own villains. It was disgusting at Midoriya's sight. Even barfing at this sight he saw. He looked away, but then realized if he looked away himself, he would be ignoring the cries of these children deep, deep within their souls. He would walk, pushing everyone out the way, and even walking up to the stage where they all lie. Do you all want to be free? Do you want to fix the society for the better? You are all manipulated by a very foul boy. A very foul man, named All for One. I can grant you power. I can grant you freedom. I can grant you something that no one else would give you. Acceptance for who you are. I don't want to change you. I want to show you what you can be. I can turn you into what you truly are. What you can become. What you're truly meant to be. As they would say yes, all of them crying out. As there would be one word yelled out. Requiem World! Stop time! As within a 10 to 20 meter radius, time would have resumed, but within out of that line, time would have stopped. Or more like, stopped. Anything without or outside of this 10 meter radius would have stopped. And within it, it would have seen that time has never stopped. As they would be confused, as these people would see that everyone's frozen. Not one word, not even a sound was made during this time. What happened? What's happening?
Well, I guess this isn't the end.
What's happening?
Don't worry. I accepted your invitation for help, and I grabbed it immediately without any hesitation. Call me. Izuku Brando.
As then Midori would be launched back into his body, seeing what the future holded. What was that? Where am I? As he would notice that he's still in the alleyway. What was that? Was that me? As he would be shaken from the sight. But yet, he would feel the power, the potential he had in that memory or for a future. You'd feel almost godlike. As he would be on his journey walking out. 2 weeks would have passed by then. Izuku Midoriya, now claimed dead. Or in more lines, disappeared. For 2 weeks have been noticed. Midoriya is gaining papers. As there would be papers, boy falls from school roof, but disappears mid-fall. What? I know I landed. I heard the thud and everything. But what happened? And then all he would remember is a grin of a yellowed-haired man with a star-like tattoo on the back of his neck. Was that real? No, it had to be a dream. What? As he would be questioning reality. Or more lines, how he's alive and whatnot. He would notice that in order to gain power, he would have to train. He would have to train something, but he wouldn't know what though. Walking by, he would accidentally bump into an individual. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't see you there.
Good grief. Continue on.
As he would continue walking, seeing that Midori would see that he's not in the concrete anymore. He fell before, but realized he wasn't on concrete. It was weird and unique. He would look back at the man and then just keep walking. And immediately there would be explosions out of nowhere. These explosions would be heard. And Midori would instantly go, What was that? As his intriguement and curiosity would have killed them and would have ran directly towards the sound. What's happening? As his nosiness would get the better of him, trying to go and jump up the crowd just to see what's happening, going through people left and right, seeing what's happening, and as he would see a friend, or more lines. An old friend. He no longer seen this individual as a friend or a comrade. As the only words that would leave his mouth, Katsuki, Bakugo. I see. As he will snap back, I gotta save him. As his heroic heart would go towards the fight, trying to get rid of the people in front of him and in the sides of him, trying to break free from the crowd and save his old childhood friend. As within glances, Midori would be running, throwing his backpack in both eyes of the sludge villain. I got you, Katsuki! And then immediately, something would happen. Midori would feel his body freeze and hear no sounds, as if he felt this emotion before. He felt this feeling before. As he would look around, everything would have either looked gray or would have looked frozen. As he would see the same man he saw before.
Yori. I guess the heroes aren't gonna fix the society. All that are left are those who crave richness, want fame and glory. All they want is to be famous. Wow. Isn't that the same kid I bumped into? Whatever. Star Platinum. Now.
As within seconds, time would have resumed. Midoriya would have immediately blinked, and the man he saw before would have been there, and the sludge villain dispersed. As with his friend would be on the ground next to him, or either on the opposite side of him. Midoriya would look back at the man, and then the man would vanish, as if nothing happened. He would feel confused, and then realize, and slowly down. What was that? As he would only recollect a second of the time stop. What was that thing he had? Was that his quirk? Anyways. As in before Midoriya can even try to help Bakugo, he would have teleported somewhere. Or more lines, something would have happened which lead him outside of the radius of Bakugo's line of sight. I guess he's safe now. That's fine. As he would look and continue, and immediately bump into the same person. Please, help me, train me, please. I don't know what you did back there, but it was amazing. Please train me. I'm quirkless. I don't know what you can do with it, but please, whatever you did back there, you saved a friend of mine. Please help me. Wait a minute. What do you mean back there? I don't know. Everything seemed frozen. I don't know what happened. It seemed within seconds you were just there and then here, and then out of nowhere, everything went down so fast. Is he a Stan user as well? As Midori would try and, beg for, training or some sort of, help. And, Jotaro basically, Fine. But I'm gonna test you first. Hoolah! Star Platinum! Star Platinum would come in with a fist stopping right an inch from Midoriya's face. As Midoriya wouldn't have known what's happening. Immediately, Johto will confirm he's not a stand user. And, inevitably, give or take, the 10 months training would be, if you don't know what, Jotaro knows, Jotaro knows that, a little bit of Homon, so, he kind of learned some Homon. And inevitably, Gramps, comes by. Kind of teaches him a bit, or like at least the fundamentals of Homon. It can be absorbed and extracted from a human body. Same with expelled and released. It can be used to enhance the body, either by breathing itself or more aligns by the willpower of the user. As Midoriya would know the fundamentals of Homon. And within the 10 months, after the 10 months, both of them would have vanished. He wouldn't know where the man would have gone. Same with the old one. The old Gramps would have gone as well. So that's Jotaro. That was interesting interaction. And that was Joseph. I see. And then he gets flashbacks from the memory he saw back in the alleyway. Also, if you're wondering what type of training they did, realistically, the only thing they really did with Deku was teach him how to bloom a flower. Why? I mean, technically, a little bit of Homon, especially nowadays, would probably more lines heal your entire body. Or more lines, of course, if you're weak-willed, it'll probably heal your body instantly. But if you're strong-willed, it really depends on how, much will you have, realistically. So, yeah. So, basically him able to bloom a flower using a little bit of Homon allows him to basically unlock Homon. Since, he already has a major will to begin with, so, yeah. So, what he does for the 10 months, some more lines, would be basically blooming a flower. And after that, Midoriya, basically just abuses that power to, training. He abuses, every day, he would learn, or more lines, use Homon to bloom a flower. To see if, he can, do it on a constant basis. And then inevitably, that flower would turn into 2, that 2 flowers would turn into 3, basically increasing it until he basically has an entire flippin' field of flowers. As he would go and find the place, full of deadness, all of it destroyed by pollution. Of course, the factory itself was destroyed. Moorline's still intact, but, due to the amount of cost it would be just to remove the factory, they would just keep it there and, kind of have the pollution sitting in the factory, kind of just stay there, inevitably, it going into the air and killing, the natural, environment around it. And Midoriya had an idea. What he did was, not just fix up the place, but, yeah. He cleaned the place. He basically has an entire factory. I mean, it's not that big. More lines is... technically, it's small. Because, it's basically like a small warehouse. So, it's not that big. It's, pretty small. Give or take, able to fit, 100 people in there. If not a little bit lower. Yeah, actually, no. That would be basically how much you'll be able to fit. So, I'll say... one of those small shopping stores, basically. he would clean it out and use it as a base. So more lines, a house, since, kind of clarified dead, so yeah. Over the time span, Midori would have trained Homong to a significant extent. He would have trained it how to absorb basically any matter into Homong. Yeah. Although it wouldn't really do much. I mean, it would give him a decent amount of Homong, but a mind's more lines make him a battery, basically. And so he would basically kind of continue making Homong, or more lines, creating Homong, and increasing his body flow, making sure he can hold as much Homong in his body as possible. So basically, by the end of, I'll say, a year, he would be able to basically have the fitness of a JoJo character. Basically have cleaned up that entire factory. Not just that, but basically restore the entire, forest that was next to the factory. And, he reformed the factory into more lines, a house, so, taking out all of the pollution and kind of absorbing it into Homong. And instead of, Homong, he created something called concentrated Homong. It takes when I mean concentrated Homong, it's made from basically Homong, but focused to its fullest extent. And basically beyond. Meaning that if he needed to heal something, he's able to. Or more lines can just spam heal people if you want to do. His maximum is about 10 people at max. Simultaneously. If he tried healing any more people than that in a day, then it would really, mess up his body. So yeah. Of course, it really determines, the willpower, so yeah. So basically, normal people with weak, things. Meaning that in JoJo references, basically, meaning he can only do one person at a time. So yeah. Give or take, it'll take 10 minutes to fully recover a person. But for him, since, he kind of resides in his own body, kind of, makes it go faster. So cutting that time in half by, give or take, 5 minutes for him to fully heal. Oh, I see. As you know, he'll be sitting down. Oh, that was a lot of work. As he would be dragged back into this sort of mindscape / dimension. Well, it seems you learned something that killed me. Interesting. This is Homong, the fundamentals of anything living or organic. If it is a material that can basically be manipulated by humanity, it can be absorbed by your Homong, or more lines, concentrated Homong. In my opinion, you should always have the Homong on, to increase your body flow. But since you've been doing that for the past year, congrats. You need to search for others to help you on your quest. Of course, though, it's odd that your stand hasn't awakened yet, though. Who knows? It may awaken in the near future. Now, from when I was talking to you earlier, a year and 10 months ago, or more lines, a year and 12 months ago, there was a chest full of items. I need you to find it before anyone else does. If anyone else does, they'll be meaning the destruction of any further process you may make in the future. As you know, then Dio gets, an idea. And starts, getting his evil smirk. Telling, a little lie. Of course, though, they give you very good power. But of course, that'd be terrible, though, if a villain gets their hands on it. Just imagine what they can do with the power of a stand. They can kill so many people. And what would the heroes do? They would just lock them up until that same person escapes and just keep on recycling that person as that person never changes. Of course, though, until, unless someone interferes. Basically manipulating Midoriya to a certain extent. I will. Don't worry, I will find these items. I just found out what I can make the flippin' abilities. Okay, I can have 2 abilities for Requiem World. Wow. You know what? I figured out how I'm gonna do this. Yeah. Haha. Just figured out his Requiem ability. Let's go. Anyways, let's continue. I'm sorry. Midori would be walking. And basically being I can't even say it properly. Navigated? Yeah, navigated towards, where the box is. He would see a giant building. Is this where it is? Yes! You found it so quickly. I'm impressed. Now, I only have time until my soul returns. So I feel like these past days will be my last, young Midoriya. Or sorry, Brando. I've been looking at what you do. I am proud. For now on, though, your name will no longer be Midoriya, but a Brando. My child may not have liked the name, but you were worth the Brando name. Your name is now Izuku Brando. Understand that, boy? Yes, thank you, Dio. As he would already see parts of Dio's hand fading. If you're wondering, he's disappearing into the afterlife, so yeah. Yeah. The only reason he's in that white void was because he had a Requiem stand arrow. And if it wasn't for that, he would have instantly faded into the afterlife. But yeah, his soul kind of got stuck with the Requiem arrow. And now that's no longer, the Requiem arrow is no longer a thing. Since, Deku's body kind of absorbed it. Dio's consciousness is now fading. So yeah, congrats. Anyways. How do I get in, though? I see. As he would hear a bus coming, and immediately kind of just dip from there, and just go on the roof of the USJ. As immediately, he would see, everyone, all the students, coming into the USJ and then, kind of seeing it through the window. Ah, interesting. This will be unique. As you know, the USJ attack happens.
What's happening? Oh, I see we have guests.
As Dio, with the last bit of, what's left of his existence, he at least wants to start talking, because he kind of was lonely and, that, being attached or being cursed to the Requiem Arrow. So, yeah. If you're wondering how he was cursed, he had a stand user that was able to curse souls to objects. And, it was more aligned to After Effects. Like, if your physical body dies, your soul then transfers to that object. So, Dio's kind of still dead physically.
Yeah. I see we have company. Well, this will be an interesting fight. I have limited time left. And now that I do, I want to live it.
Oh, I see. As you would basically see the no moon, everyone, fighting. And then, he would see... I'll say this is when you were... No, not Rook. I'll say Suyu got off the bridge. Or not the bridge, but the boat. How they got off the boat, they basically used Sue's tongue. Kind of slingshot both him and Mineta to, shore. Either that or they kind of play leapfrog with the villains, kind of jumping on the villain's head, going ashore. If you're wondering how they defeated the villains, Mineta used his quirk and basically stuck all the villains together like a giant clump of meatball. So yeah. As you know, right about when Sue was about to be disintegrated.
You know what to do, young Brundle.
As you know, a shatter noise can be heard from the roof of the USJ. As there would be a person with a black cape and a hood on. And basically curve stomping, mid-air Shigaraki. Just like, foot kick, wee! So yeah, basically pulled on a G-Gun versus Shigaraki. Basically using Shigaraki's body as a surfboard, like Jigen did to Sasuke. Yeah, that's fun. Shigaraki's kind of salty, so yeah. He's like, Nomu, kill him, whoever he is. As you know, every student is questioning, who is this person?
Ooh, I see. Now, show your full power, Izuku!
As a golden, not golden, but a copper-like aura would start forming around Izuku. As energy would be lifted out, and Midoriya would start hand-to-hand combat with the Nomu, being a bit overwhelmed by its strength, like give or take half of the Nomu, but due to Midoriya's durability, he's able to stand, with the Nomu. Basically, barrages going forward and back and forward. Until Midoriya is kind of, exhausted and then realizes, hold up, I'm a dumbass. And basically, looks at the brain. I could have ended this in one shot the entire time. And basically, with the final energy he has, drops the Nomu back to the gulag. And yeah, he faints. Why? Because my guy, that he wasted a lot of Homong on the Nomu itself. So, like, he tried to fight and just compete with the Nomu? Like, bruh. It's ridiculous. Also, by the way, yes, he didn't recover any injuries. Because, he got, Homong. He got that, yeah. He got that concentrated Homong on his side. So, no damage done to him. But, man, is he tired. He gonna need a heck of a lot of water when he wakes up. Just from, the amount of stamina he lost. Anyways. This is also right as the heroes kind of, enter. As they see the Nomu kind of basically kind of just get curve stomped, or more lines just uppercutted by Midoriya, as the brain will kind of rattle out. So yeah, that's fun. So they'll bring in Midoriya for questioning. Who are you? Are you villain? What happened? I say they wouldn't be able to take off the hood because it's one of those like. I don't know. I'll say for plot convenience they don't take off the hood. Because I'll say the students did say, oh yeah, by the way, he kind of saved us, right as Sue kind of almost got Thanos snapped. So yeah. As they kept his hood on. And, Nezu was in, the corner of the room. Oh, you're awake, I see. Fascinating. So, what is your quirk, young man? Ugh. My head. I feel like I got hit by a roller. Ugh. Roller. My head, though. Man, whatever that thing was, it hit like a truck. Oh, hey, what's up? So, what's your quirk? A quirk? Oh, I don't have one. As Nezu would be surprised. Then how then... What? Nezu presuming that he would be lying, but, Homong technically is a quirk. Especially, concentrated Homong. That's basically like the focused version of like basically focused to like 100%. So yeah, kind of more lines, just a more focused version of Homong. And he actually has to be paying attention, a lot actually into what he's doing with the Homong to make it concentrated. More lines become concentrated Homong. So yeah. And if you're wondering, yes, technically concentrated Homong. In War Lines dramatically increases your durability in all of your stats. But at the cost of stamina. Yeah. It decreases, not physical stamina, but like mental stamina. Like how much your mind can take of like a certain thing, like how like basically homework, when you do too much homework and you're kind of brain dead, or more lines, your brain needs to refuel, kind of sleep. That's basically what I mean. So yeah. I see. As you know, they basically conversate. Midoriya Nezu gave Deku two options. One, go to prison for vigilantism for like about 6 months. Or second, join UA. And yeah, Midoriya, he don't want to go to prison, so yeah. Your boy, he's in UA. Haha. And yeah. He actually meets a friend there. I would not name this friend, and no, it's not Bakugo nor Uraka. So yeah. This and his, friend, quote unquote friend, that, got into UA. She's in a class. There's 1A, 1B, 2A. I think it goes all the way to like 3. So like 1A, 2A, 3A, and then 1B, 2B, 3B. So no, I think 2B is second years, maybe? I don't think. I think so. And then I think 2A, I think, is where the big 3 lies. So 1A's. Also, like the first years, yeah. So it's like maybe like, I'll say class. I'll say either 2B, or not 2B, sorry. 1B or 1A. Yeah, I'll say 1B, while Midoriya's in 1A. If you're wondering, Midoriya looks a little bit different, what do you mean he looks different? Yellow eyes instead of green, since, the concentrated hormone physically changes the person's body to kind of suit the hormone's expectations, or more lines, how the power's expectations. It hurts over time, some muscle spasms now and, again, sometimes, due to, it rapidly changing the body. Of course, Midoriya, since, he's been doing this for, like, a while, he's kind of used to the changes. So, yeah. So, he kind of just walks into 1A. Also, description of Midoriya. I'll say yellow eyes. What kind of hair would he have? I'll say he actually be blonde. Yeah, I'll say Midoriya would probably be blonde. Around that. After that, Midoriya would probably... Also, if you're wondering, no, it's not his actual hair color. It's more lines dyed. So, yeah. And for the eyes, I'll say the only thing that actually was changed about Midoriya's physical body was the eye color. Due to how much concentrated hormone and just hormone he can just hold. It physically changed his eyes. Just, the power. Midoriya, I'll say, kind of is in the same place, I say. So kind of just there. I'll say they moved back as, a student from class 1A back into class 1B for, Deku, so yeah. Yeah. I'll say this was No, because that wouldn't make sense, because Monoma hates 1A, so I'll say it was Kendo. Either Kendo or someone that usually isn't picked. So, yeah. So, Midoriya is kind of just standing there. People don't know who he is. Would I want to change? Because I feel like Bakugo, even if he was... Sorry for that. Anyways, I feel like Bakugo would recognize if, instantly, Izuku put one together. Not Izuku Brando, but Izuku Midoriya. So, yeah. So, I'll say, what's a good name? Zuma. Why not? Zuma. Zuma. Couldn't think of anything else. I mean, yeah, Zuma Brando, basically. Or, Akuma. Why not? Akuma Brando. That sounds way cooler. Anyways. Akuma. Haha. Street Fighter. Ba-da-da. Anyways, let's continue. Akuma Brando. After this, people would be curious on what his quirk is, after telling him he's quirkless. Basically, since it's the beginning of a new year, or basically, yeah. Midoriya would, quirk examination, how this goes. Midoriya would surprisingly actually get lower than Bakugo, but I'll say he's okay. So if Todoroki got near the 600s and Bakugo's score was 750, Araka was infinity. So if Todoroki's was, I think, 100, no, it was 650, and then Bakugo's was 750. So I'll say around Midori would probably get 500 meters. Because think of it. Yes, he's able to compete with the Nomu, but that was only due to, overuse of Homong. Like, his body was just drained. So, even so, that was still like one, that was only one of a time chance. He had to overload his body, which kind of broke it. He kind of was sitting in the hospital for a while. But yeah. I'll say he got 500 because I feel like that was a decent score. It would probably be more than most of the class. I'll say the only people who actually got higher than him was, I think, Uraka, because, Infinity, Todoroki, and Bakugo. But besides that, I don't see anyone else actually getting a higher score than him. I mean, I may be wrong, but I mean, it is. I mean, I'm maybe like one or a couple people maybe higher than him, but I mean, he's like right in the middle of the class. Either that or a bit higher, so yeah. And of course, there was, haha. Midoriya slowly starts to kind of relax. And after everything, we do a time skip. Yes, a time skip. If you're wondering, all the events of My Hero are going to happen extremely early. Like because I feel like the Hosu, hold up. The Hosu accident had multiple Nomus, and I feel like if I had that right after USJ, that would make no sense. Because they would have just added the Nomus to the USJ. So I'll say... you know what? Haha, I always miss this in my what ifs. It's the flippin' heroes versus villains. I never do this anymore. Heroes versus villains. Canon, matchups. As Bakugo versus Deku, and Ito versus Uraka. So yeah. The only difference is that there'd be a slight change. Well, Midori kind of uses the same technique he uses in canon. More lines. He don't got a quirk, so he kind of a little bit weaker, or a bit weaker. So yeah. What happens is basically Bakugo pulls the pins, and something happens. Something extraordinary. Right? I'll say instead of pulling one of them, he pulled both of them. Not that, he's evil or anything. But I'll say he saw what the dude did to the Nomu, and so he's like, Also, yes, the USJ is the heroes versus villains. So yes, he did notice what this man did to the Nomu. So he was like, bro, I gotta go all out. If I don't, I'm gonna lose this. So pulls both pins as All Might's like, young Bakugo, you're gonna kill him. As Bakugo is like, not if he dodges. Basically pulling both pins, and Midori's kind of like, well, this is a predicament. As light would flash. All Midori would see is white. As a bright light would form. And something would have been seen. A arm. A copper, or more like not copper, but give or take probably a copper arm. Yeah, a copper arm, or more lines a tan like I don't know what type of metal it'd be made out of or what type of look would like, but basically what happened, what you see on the screen of the world, basically that his arm, both arms come out, and we're like, no, because I feel like one arm would be enough, because I mean it's Requiem world, so I mean it's pretty overpowered. So I'll say like one hand. So kind of one arm was kind of just slanted and kind of protecting Midoriya from the entire brunt, or not the blunt from the force, but basically Midoriya flew off, or almost did. As yes, he took no damage, but the shockwave pushed him back, at least almost out of the window. So he's kind of still there, as all Bakugo sees is him gone. As this gives Midoriya the chance as he's distracted. Concentrated Homon Fist B. Boom. Slumber. Yeah, this man pulled out a Tandro headbutt and basically knocked him out, but with his fist. So yeah, man sent him not to the gulag, but more lines to the Shadow Realm. This man got knocked out with that punch because he used. Okay, this is what happened. For whatever reason, he doesn't know. He knows it's definitely not the Homon, but he knows it's something. As something kind of give him a boost in the air, and basically, man, just like, yee, Sonic Punch, bang, yeah. This man indented into the floor. This man, Bakugo, literally indented to the floor. So yeah, you can say he's gonna have a pretty good nap. So yeah. Ooh, should I call it Steampunk Requiem or Requiem World? Ooh, okay, I got some ideas. While this is happening, we go to an image. Or go to a future, near future. And he notices that the future still hasn't changed. And you can say after that, Uraraka and him started dating. I just realized this is going to be a long part 1. Oh my god, I'm going to have to do so much editing. I mean, maybe not that much, because, all I got to do is just clip out the beginning and end and maybe some parts of the middle, but, it is pretty decent. But, yeah, anyways, let's continue this part 1. Anyways. As Uraraka and him will start dating, after the entire, Heroes Win thing, so, yeah. Momo said that, Midoriya was MVP. Actually, no, yeah, because he wouldn't have done, One for All, so he wouldn't have caused that entire calamity. So, he would be MVP, because I'll say Momo said, yeah, when the dust was, in the air, Midoriya must have, got the rubble from, the explosion from Bakugo and, jumped on it from, like, a fallen pillar or something, jumped on it and then, knocked Bakugo flat out.